The president's tweets attacking the mayor of London, in a way, taking the mayor's comments completely out of context. I mean, he was wrong about what he claimed the mayor said. How do you do that on the day where there's been a terror attack against our greatest ally?
When I first saw that tweet, and I understand people are saying that they're misinterpreting or that he's misrepresenting, et cetera. Having seen enough out of the mayor of London, period, just in general, I really do think that this is, I mean, my first reaction was he's Neville Chamberlain as mayor of London, and that Trump, in his own fashion, not consciously being Churchillian, but is basically saying, you guys have got to toughen up here. The notion that flooding the zone with, what, 1,000 police or whatever is not in response to terrorism, I mean, and is not alarming.
You think the president, you're saying that the president wasn't being consciously Churchillian. We mean you believe his tweet was actually like Churchill would have done?
I have even pulled up a direct quote from Winston Churchill. He talked about the weakness of the virtuous and talking about...
But does he misquote people? Did Churchill misquote people? But he is misquoting what the mayor said, and he's blasting him for something that the mayor did not say.
But the mayor, in reading his tweet, the mayor was talking about flooding the zone, as it were, with 1,000 cops. Was that in essence
right? And that's that sounds never like Neville Chamberlain.
Well, I mean, why do you have to do that in the first place?
Well,
you have to do that because you're not taking care of the terrorism, right?
So when there's any terrorism attack in the United States, that's because the president is not taking care of, or the mayor of the city is not taking care of.
That we need to do a better job. That's exactly correct. Whether it's London, Washington, or anywhere else.
But when a nation is grieving and people have been killed, is it really? I'm just in basic common human decency. Isn't it just sleazy to do this?
I just think that the president thinks that the world is more or less asleep on this, and they're not doing enough, and that they need some sort of, if you will, shock therapy to awaken to it. I mean, I don't think there's anything malicious about it. I just think that's his belief here.